You provided yours last week first, so I guess that means I gotta go first this week. All right. Off with some hip hop news. You know I like to talk hip hop, so why not? And for me, let's talk about some albums that might be coming out in 2024. Well, first album.
Some albums that might be coming out in 2024. That what kind of setup?
Well, first album is definitely coming out. I think Schoolboy Q dropping Blue Lips. I am excited. I'm ready for it. TDE is finally releasing albums. Well, I mean, they released SZA's album last year, but they finally get into it, man. And this is one of the albums that I've been looking most forward to. I wasn't crazy about Crash Talk during the pandemic, but it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't great. So I'm ready to see if he's back to, you know, Oxymoron and Blank Face LP, Schoolboy Q. I'm ready for the capital H's. You know what I mean?
I'm here for Schoolboy Q always. I agree with you. I wasn't really too keen on the shit that came out over the pandemic, but enough for reputation there to keep me excited. So, yeah. Bring me some Schoolboy. Bring me some Top Dog.
For sure. I told you I was talking about 2 anticipated albums potentially. But before I get into it, are you aware that the Rock Nation brunch for this year was canceled?
Because they couldn't invite Diddy?
I don't think it had anything to do with Diddy. And if I'm being honest,
like they didn't want to send nobody to tell Diddy that he couldn't come. So instead of him being disinvited, they was just like, fuck it, we just gonna shut the whole brunch down. And that way we ain't gotta deal with it.
Shutting the entire brunch down for somebody who's going through the things that Diddy is going through is nuts.
Nah, it's so that you didn't have to sacrifice nobody to go up to his house and tell him he can't come. Because if you see somebody from Rock Nation calling him, he gonna already know what's up. He gonna dodge some calls. You gotta go. You gotta pull up on him. But then who the fuck wants to pull up on Diddy right now, knowing what we know?
I don't think it has anything to do with Diddy. I'm gonna posit a different theory. I think Hove is dropping an album, and the only thing that I can find that says any different is Rock Nation is apparently saying this is news to us. But other than that, you cancel the Rock Nation brunch because you're like,
As a regular thing, can we just stop doing these random gatherings of rich black people all together for us to gawk at because we don't get shit from it? Them niggas don't go there and fundraise. Them niggas don't go in there and be like, all right, we open up this school next week. Them niggas don't go in there and be like, all right, y'all, we about to go campaign for reparations. Now that we got all these powerful, rich black people in one room, we're going to coalesce and come up with a plan for reparations or anything. Like, nothing good for us ever comes out of any of those fuckery meetups.
Sure.
For what? What did I do that shit for?
For the Instagram pics.
Fuck them pictures.
Who doesn't want to see Meek Mill and DJ Khaled next to the next hot black actress flicking it up? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to see that?
Don't give a shit.
But
give a shit.
It's been canceled this year, so you don't have to worry about it. And I think it's because Hove is dropping an album this year. You could get another 444.
You have to re-download Tidal. That's what you're going to get out of it.
I'm not re-downloading Tidal. I'm not. No.
Quick 3-month subscription to Tidal.
Shout out to Black Business, but I'm not re-downloading Tidal. I am not. I will not. I refuse to.
A re-subscription to Tidal. That's what it's going to get you.
I barely want to keep Apple Music or Spotify. Like, I don't want to keep any of them. I'd rather just... Sometimes I'd be like, YouTube, just whatever. I'm just going to find it on YouTube. That's just me.
Yeah, I ain't that old yet. I still got Apple Music.
I have Apple Music. I'm just saying, sometimes I don't even want to deal with that.
Oh, music on the YouTubes.
No.
That's how I get my... Let me show you something. No, you over there paying for that Apple Music. Let me show you something here on my phone.
I literally have Apple Music still. I'm just saying I don't want to have to go through it.
Right here. And then you hit search. It'll even let you talk to it. Hit the microphone. YouTube. Find music.
You talking and you just turned 41. Anyway.
Find music.
All right. My first L goes to, and I don't know how to say her last name because this is just bullshit right here. Kristen Juszczyk is a wife of 49ers fullback Kyle Juszczyk. And she went out here in the last game wearing like a jacket and this shit with a bunch of different logos from the NFL. Nice, very nice, very nicely put together. But I seem to recognize pants or bottoms with a bunch of NFL patches. Seems familiar. Seems like something that, I don't know, black people have done before. NFL patches, NBA patches. But those
like
people, varsity jackets, jeans. I've seen shoes with them on it. Fake Air Force Ones with them on it. I don't want to see Taylor Swift. Anyway, that seems very familiar. It's not like it's her idea. You've seen black people wear this before, but it's her that gets the okay from the NFL to, hey, keep designing more with our NFL patches on it. Trash. And I'm not going to call this appropriation because maybe she didn't know that black people did this before, but this is definitely deserving of an L, especially for the NFL to be out here like, yeah, this is a great idea. We should sell this more.
Yeah, I'm not a lot of y'all don't give a shit.
I don't like that. That's definitely a thing that black people did for a solid few years right before the Jerboed era. Right before we was wearing Jerboed.
It's not 2004 anymore. Nobody dresses like this, so I really don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm more offended by them appropriating the fade. That's what I'm upset about.
Oh, the Travis Kelce haircut?
No, that doesn't exist. And I'm mad he hasn't come out and made no Instagram post, no tweet, no nothing, being like, hey, yo, listen, I did not invent this haircut. Like, come on, Travis, you're going to have to stop some of this madness around you and this woman.
Give me the Travis Kelce.
Like, okay, does it come with the widow's peak? Is that like part of the Travis Kelce?
I want you to do my hair like Travis Kelce. Give me my beard.
Be a rash of white boys walking around with fades.
Well, just wait until Travis Kelce decides to start putting on do-rags, and then he's going to have 360 waves, and then waves are going to be the Travis Kelce.
It's funny how well it works, too. You just have to be white, number one, do something that black people do, number two, and then just claim it as your own. And those are the only steps. It's beautiful.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? They do it with bonnets. They do it with hairstyles. They do it with words. They do it with food. You just do it one time where no one has ever seen you do it before, especially in your community, and you just claim it. And then it's yours.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the Travis Kelce now. Deal with it.
Taylor Swift about to remix Swag Surfing, apparently.
No. And I hate the fact that they were like, yeah, you should do it. No.
Yeah, remix that shit. They trying to get paid. I'm not mad.
Paid as hell.
I'm not mad. That's that payola. But boy, I swear to God, we just need to stop renting out the culture, man. Because niggas are not making payments. Wait till he puts a couple LBs on, grows the hair out a little bit, and he start looking like Jason Kelce. He start dressing like Jason Kelce.
He had to, I'm surprised nobody's mentioned this. He had that trash ass mustache for a little bit.
A little porn stash?
Whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, if that's what you want to call that.
I wasn't fucking with that. He looked like the dude from American History X.
This is straight up 70s cop stash. Like
skinhead.
You know what I mean? Nation. You feel me? Like, this is nuts. And there's no real fade here. Yeah, this whole thing is trash. Fuck this.
Yeah, that guy right there says it with the hard ER for sure.
Facts. All right, you ready to talk about this Keith Lee situation?
Sure. Yeah, let's get into it.
So there's a lot of videos, and I don't know if we should go through all of them for context reasons, but there's obviously the original video, and then there's the girl responding, and then there's Keith Lee responding.
I was watching the braiding lady, the lady that was braiding outside earlier, trying to get her background story. I kind of heard Keith Lee's explanation. I don't even really feel like I need to listen to the truck lady. But for context, I'll listen to her. So let's listen to the women, because I've heard Keith Lee's explanation. Honestly, he doesn't need to give an explanation.
I see y'all giving out haircuts and doing braids.
All right, he says, I see y'all giving out haircuts and doing braids. You clearly see she acknowledges, like, oh, yeah.
So we want to leave $1,000 to the barber.
We wanted to leave $1,000 to the barber so he can cut everybody's hair for free. Did not acknowledge whether or not he was already doing it for free, but I'm going to give him $1,000 so that he can do haircuts for free.
So we can cut everybody hair for free. We want to leave you $1,000.
We wanted to give the girl $1,000 for doing braids, and we want to tip her $2,000. So she gets $2,000 out of the deal, and then the other two get $1,000 each. Seems like a pretty noble thing for that to happen, right? But apparently, according to, now I don't know if she was braiding, but her brother was the barber. This is, what's her name? Cheryl Hodge. She was the one that kind of brought this whole thing to light because apparently her brother was the barber, and I think she was helping the lady.
What's up, y'all? I bet you're wondering how we got here. Well, let me tell you. So a lot of y'all know yesterday I got to meet Keith Lee. Great. Congratulations. I'm still humbled by the experience. Like, I am ecstatic. Blessings to your family. I really appreciate you. But now this is where the downfall comes in. A lot of y'all was on my live when he said this.
I see y'all giving out haircuts.
My little brother, yeah.
We want to leave $1,000 to the barber so he can cut everybody.
Oh, that's my little brother. He went to go pick up my baby brother from school.
We want to leave you $1,000 to cut hair. We want to leave you $2,000.
And granted, everything was cool, right? Me being me and thinking everybody else is going to have the same genuine heart as me, I charged him $4,000 on his card, meaning all the money went to the food truck in hopes that she would do what she needed to do, right?
And he'll explain that in his response as to why specifically he did everything through the credit card.
Wrong. So after everything had died down, mind you, on top of him tipping $4,000, this man left an extra $886 to feed everybody else that was coming, right? Right. But this is where she went wrong. I'm in the truck, mind you, I'm a worker. This is your business, so I'm doing what you say. She tell me after this person, which is a third person, that you got to start charging again.
So the man pays almost $1,000 extra on top of the $4,000 for everybody to pay for people behind him. And after the third person, the owner said, nah, start charging people again. $1,000? There's no way you went through 1,000 people and after the first 3 people. You're being greedy already.
Now it's one thing when he say I'm leaving this for free, and for somebody to come and order like one of everything on the menu and try to get both desserts and drinks and shit. Like, yeah, you could put a limit on that. But if this man left you almost $1,000, why the fuck did you stop handing free food out after the third person?
You're being greedy.
Make it make sense. So, all right, everything was cool. It was time to close down. You know, my friend done ran to the store. He helping his mom. He coming out his pocket with his own money. And I looked at her and I was like, so Keith Lee literally just spent $5,200 with you. She was like, girl, I know. I'm so excited. Like, before I got on here, I was broke. And before y'all come for me talking about don't be releasing no personal information, it got personal when you played with my baby brother. So everything was cool, calm, and collect, right? She told me, she said, look, I just want to let you know it'll be about a day or two before you guys get your money. I work with Square. I've been running my business for the past 4 years with Square, so I know exactly how it works.
Makes sense.
You've been running this business for years, your money gonna clear the next day, correct? So this
Sometimes it doesn't clear the next day. I want to be perfectly honest about that. Sometimes it takes 2 days, but regardless, it should take a couple of days for it to process at the very least.
morning we got up. Mind you, I'm thinking I gotta go back to help her because yesterday you ain't have nobody that wanted to work for you. You get what I'm saying? So my friend had me come and help you, and then my brother was really only out there, but you somehow trying to make it seem like my brother was giving free haircuts when he was posting flyers with his prices on them. Come on. So then I wake up today, people hit me up talking about, we want to make your menus, we want to make your flyers, da-da-da-da-da. My main thing was, I'm not the face of this company. You get what I'm saying? I'm not the face of this company, but I can put you in contact. If you go through my comment section, you will definitely see where I'm tagging her business over and over and over because people thought it was my shit. So I hit her this morning, was like, Kim, you have workers today? Also, there's a guy who's wanted to do your menu and flyers for you, so I'm sending him your number. Who is this? Sherelle. Yes.
She tried to play stupid and say, who is this? That's nuts.
Who
First
is
of
this? hey, motherfucker. I can see all of the trail of messages. Talking about who is this? My nigga, scroll up.
That's crazy, first of all. And then
Hey, the who is this really fucked me up because I can really see the messages up there.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, ain't no fucking way.
You're
Who are
lying.
you talking to?
You're capping right now.
That's why people get pulled up on. That's exactly why.
Facts. So basically,
Disrespect.
she asks again if the money cleared, and she even says like you can keep the money for me. Like there was supposed to be $1,000. I think she's the one that braided hair, so you can keep the $1,000 for me. But like my brother needs this $1,000, so like can you give him his money? So all she has to give up is $1,000. She had already scammed people for the money that Keith Lee paid for the people behind.
Ooh, right.
And she gets to keep an extra $1,000 now, but she's keeping everybody's fucking money apparently. So all of that has basically caused her a negative blessing because she's fucking the bag up for sure. And Keith Lee responds.
To be honest, there's not much to talk about, but there are a few conflated and confused things that's going around about the situation. So let's talk about them. 3 days ago, me and my family went to Sweetly Seasoned Food Truck. Number one, nobody had any idea we was coming. They found out we was in Dallas like everybody else found out we was in Dallas because we was posting videos in Dallas. So in hopes of us coming, they had t-shirts made and they was on live all day. So me and my family wasn't in cahoots with none of this. We was all under the impression that they were a team and this was a normal routine for them. The barber being there, the braider being there, family being there, a lot of people being there. This is our first time here. We are customers. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Number two, I was never under the impression that haircuts was free. Again, my family was watching a lot.
So he knows.
He knew that he was cutting hair for $40. So when we walked up and I said I want to get $1,000 to the barber to do free haircuts and $1,000 to the braider to braid hair, it was because in the original video, the son said it was slow due to marketing. That's marketing. God willingly, after we post the video, there will be a line out the door. If there's a line out the door and there's a barber and a braider doing hair while people are waiting, that's marketing. So again, it's in the hood. You play some music, you cutting hair, you braiding hair, y'all all sitting out, y'all having fun. It's a parking lot barbecue. So again, we don't know the behind the scenes if they knew each other, if they didn't know each other. And the reason why I didn't pay everybody individually, the interaction that you see looked longer than what it was. It was really only like a 5-minute interaction. Within that 5 minutes, 30 to 40 people pulled up. They was pulling up in droves. That parking lot was getting deep fast. And for me and my family safety in general, I don't never carry cash around. And 9 times out of 10, if we tip, we always do it through the POS system. And even if we wanted to do it a different way, Zelle and Apple Pay wasn't an option because it was 4 or 5 people at the same time on live. So for safety reasons, they wouldn't be able to say their phone numbers or their personal information out loud. And as far as them taking my phone and putting their number in on Zelle themselves, I wouldn't hand my personal phone to nobody. So the POS system was the option that made the most sense. I've learned through this journey.
So there you go. So he basically explains to everybody why he chose through that POS system, which makes perfect sense. Obviously, nobody wants to give out their information for a Zelle or Apple Pay, and then any other way would be too complicated.
That sometimes it's deeper than the food, it's deeper than the marketing, it's deeper than the customer service, and this is one of those cases, in my opinion. Sweetly Seasoned got a lot to figure out, and I thank God in advance that they do figure it out. The last thing I'm gonna touch on is the son is misconstruing something that I said, and I don't appreciate it. After I said out loud in detail what we deemed the money to be used towards, I also said y'all can divvy it out how y'all feel necessary. Meaning, after the money hits, because it's a POS system, it don't hit the same day. Y'all can send it out through Apple Pay, through Zelle, through Cash App, through check, through cash, however y'all feel necessary to spread it amongst the team. I thought and I still think that that's a very clear statement, but it's being misconstrued, in my opinion, intentionally misconstrued, that I said and the mom and the son can say who get the money and who don't get the money.
So basically, this is the son trying to, again, misconstrue what he said. Not Trey trying to say Keith Lee told his mama to, yeah. All right.
So Keith Lee did tell her to distribute the money how she felt necessary.
That's not what he said.
That. Regardless of what's going on,
No,
I
nigga.
felt on my heart to do what we did. So for the mom to go on the back end and disregard where my heart was at and what I felt like God was telling me to do in that moment and distribute the money how she felt necessary is 100% wrong in my opinion. I see the memes and I see the jokes, but I am not in the business of shutting businesses down. Her actions did not sit right with y'all and her customer base. That resulted in the situation that she in today. We just ate the food and left a tip. Pray in advance that everybody in the situation stays safe. That's my biggest concern. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Ain't no
Y'all
way.
have an amazing day.
Ain't no way. I walked up and I told you, give $1,000 to the braider. You take a tip of $2,000. Give $1,000 to the barber. Those are specific figures. Why the fuck would then I mean, oh, well, if you want to just keep all $5,200 of it, you can. What are you talking about?
That makes no sense. But
I specifically told you where to put this money. How you distribute it is up to you. You can pocket it and take some cash out and do it all that way. You can Cash App it, you can Zelle it, Apple Pay, whatever you got.
Yeah.
But the one thing is in my wallet. That's not what I asked. That's not what I gave this to you for. Why would you do that anyway? Like, why would that be your defense? Imagine a nigga came up to you and blessed you with all that money to share, and your defense for not sharing is, I don't have to? Jesus Christ. Super villain. Absolute super villain.
Facts. So she is obviously seeing her comeuppance. Obviously, the social media backlash has been crazy. So much so that if you look at her page, Her Google page, I don't even know if it's up anymore, but it had a shit ton of 1-star reviews. So many 1-star reviews that people were actually going to the wrong Sweetly Seasoned and going to Seasoned Street Food and leaving 1-star reviews. The owner of this establishment is a shady individual. Give them people the money. It's the wrong restaurant. So people had to correct that. But that's how much backlash she's getting. And it's apparently, if you look at it, it says Sweetly Seasoned LLC is permanently closed, or whenever it was up, it said that. And now she's going under like All-in-One LLC or something, All-in-One Catering LLC or some shit. She had to change her fucking name. That's what the fuck she gets. You're a piece of shit.
Imagine being greedy over $5,000. Now you got to come up with a whole new business name.
And you could have kept 3,000 of it, at least. The 2,000 was for you. The 1,000 was for the girl. You already conned people.
Give 1,000 to the braider. Give 1,000 to the barber. You was coming out with more money than both of them combined.
All you had to do was divvy up 1,000 of the cash you got. Right? You already cheated people out of their food.
Out of the food, like, yeah, damn. If I was the fourth nigga in line, I'd been like, no, fuck no, I heard him say it was free.
That's absolutely crazy, and she deserves whatever negative blessing she's getting, or whatever the opposite of a blessing is. So, yeah, that's that. Last thing I want to touch on real quick, RIP to Carl Weathers. Oh. Insanely great actor. Obviously played numerous roles. Some I had to go back and even think about. I forgot about the fact that he was the It's All in the Hips guy from not Little Nicky, from Happy Gilmore, yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
Apollo Creed, obviously.
Action
Jackson. Yep.
He was also in Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
He was also, of course, Apollo Creed in the original Rocky franchise.
Facts.
Carl Weathers was an actor. Most recently, he was in The Mandalorian.
I saw that. Yeah, I didn't know he was in The Mandalorian.
I didn't know he was a former NFL linebacker.
Didn't know that either. I saw that on here for the Raiders, I think.
Yeah,
for a couple years.
Played in the NFL.
A lot of those guys are actors, or a lot of those guys sometimes they get out of football after a year. Terry Crews, low key. Yeah. I mean, we don't fuck with him, but he was in the NFL. Facts. But yeah, no. RIP to a legend for sure. But that is that's all I got. That's on you.
All right, so let's start it fast and furious. You want to go to the bookmarks? And
we'll do that.
Pull up that Issa Rae post for me, please. Fantastic quote. I always love it when people are honest and just very, very forthcoming with their statements. Variety. Bang. Okay. Yeah, there it is. I've never seen Hollywood this scared and clueless at the mercy of Wall Street. Boy, because we're going to work all the way through the statement. I'm sorry, but there aren't a lot of smart executives anymore, Ray says. Now these conglomerate leaders are also making the decisions about Hollywood. Y'all aren't creative people. Stick to the money. The people that are taking chances on platforms like TikTok, that's what's getting the eyeballs of the youth. So you're killing your own industry. Man, so much.
Facts.
So much.
Facts.
So much in this tweet. Let's start out with how scared and clueless Hollywood is at the mercy of Wall Street. What she's referring to is that when these producers are coming in with these concepts for these films, for these projects that they're pitching to the studios, they have an understanding of what is getting funded nowadays, right? The investors have a way of signaling what is going to be made, and then that gets picked up, and those are the roles that the top actors go for, and those are the themes that the top writers are writing for, and then you end up getting you get your script greenlit. Boom, bada bang. Scratch my back, scratch. Right? This is how it kind of goes. What she's saying is that it has gotten to a point where the creatives have completely conceded the direction to the money, which is bonkers. Makes no sense. But it makes complete sense if you've been paying attention to what's been going on in Hollywood for the last 5 or 6 years or so. How even though the cries for something different are as loud as they possibly can be, the direction is still the direction. Still the same. Forge ahead. Force is female. The Wakanda forever. The Young Avengers. You know, whatever. She-Hulk season 2.
Gross.
Yeah, like, please God, no. But they're not listening to us. That's what she's saying. There aren't any smart executives anymore. I was never convinced that they were smart to begin with. You take a guy like Bob Iger, for example, right? Bob Iger is a titan in the entertainment industry. Name rings bells. You know what Bob Iger does best? Shops. He shops.
For sure.
He bought Pixar. He bought Lucasfilm. He bought Marvel. He's a great shopper. It ain't like he ponied up the cash out of his own pocket. He spent somebody else's dollar to acquire huge properties, huge companies under the Disney umbrella. What has he done with all those? Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's not. How has he perpetuated the growth of those? Oh, let's not talk about it. How has the viability of those companies went up or down since he's been more involved in the inner workings of how the companies go? Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. But let's give him all the credit in the world. Let's allow him for buying it and think nothing of what he's done with it after the fact. That is what she's talking about. Leaders of conglomerates, David Zaslav. What did he ever do to make you think that he could point Warner Brothers in a positive direction? Before here, creatively, not what has he done for a company. Show business is different than any other kind of business there is. Still a bottom line, but it's a whole lot more in between.
So Bob Iger is Jimbo Fisher? Buys talent, but then doesn't do anything with it?
Jimbo Fisher won a national championship.
Not with what he bought at
Bob
Texas
Iger
A&M.
is Hugh Freeze.
Okay.
He's Hugh Freeze.
Okay. I'll give you that.
That's who he is. Or Lane Kiffin. Pick one. Lane Kiffin or Hugh Freeze. Either one. Stick to the money. Yeah, I would agree. People that are taking chances on platforms like TikTok, it is really interesting to see how fast you can blow up on something like TikTok from just a genuine understanding of what your audience wants and how to play to it. I think of people like Bad Boy or Coach 30, right? Like, are not necessarily sports content creators in a traditional fashion, or what you would think of when you think of a sports content creator, but have found a way to introduce comedy into it and really have like an unlimited content well to draw from week to week of sports. Like that's the easiest thing to recreate. And she's right. That's what's popping right now. Not these fuck-ass TV shows. Not these mini-series that y'all keep putting out. That's who's actually capturing millions of eyeballs with a free social media account. And here you are with every dollar in mainstream media at your disposal, and you're shit. This is the ether towards Kevin Feige. Basically just told him that Drewski is driving his nose in the dirt right now, and he needs to get his weight up.
You're absolutely right, but saying Drewski specifically is
Bob
nuts.
Iger ether. Bob Iger, Kevin Feige ether right here.
Drewski is standing on entertainment business. Standing on entertainment business.
Thinking it up with y'all $1 million budget. And this nigga Drewski got a room, 2 bodyguards, and random people off the internet that just want to be in front of him, and he's killing it.
I mean, facts.
What have you done for me lately?
Not a damn thing.
Shout out to Issa Rae for that.
For sure.
Okay, so Next up is going to be a dub for my boy Conscious Lee. We talked about the Houston Brick Lady last week. And
Yeah, I was
how
gonna say you just hated on him.
the fact, yeah, the fact that he was still doing his grifting act.
Sure.
But it seems that he has come from out under that rock that he's been hiding under and apologized for how divisive his statements were and stopped just shy of saying he was completely wrong about it the whole time. He stopped shy of it. He was, absolutely he was. But he did acknowledge that the way that he was continuously moving the goalposts and just being argumentative for the sake of being argumentative while not acknowledging the very wrong things that was going on in this situation was some bullshit. And he said that's not what he wanted to do. I'll take him at his word. I was taking him at his word before when he was talking all that horse shit. That's why I said he was full of shit. Now I'm taking him at his word and saying that he wants to be better.
That's all fair. I feel like what's wrong with saying I was wrong?
Or I got duped? Like, how dumb did we look like we sitting over here trying to lead the national search for Carly Russell? Meanwhile, she chilling at home trying to get her main thing back. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like we look stupid. It was what it was. And it's okay because we were trying to be good and we were being honest people. We got honestly duped. But some people just can't do that. Especially when you cash in the bag in off of it too. Like that's part of it. And that's the part that he won't say. The part that he won't say is that it was very lucrative content he was making around that Brick Lady.
Yeah.
No matter what side you took of it, if you was talking about it, it was popular. It was popular for just about everybody except for us.
Facts. I'll even give a person that's funny. Anyway, I'll even give a person a little bit of leeway if they say, like, look, I got some wrong information. And so based off of that, I said what I said, and therefore I was wrong. Like, you're not, I guess, taking full blame of it, but I mean, you're at least saying, like, look, like, this is the situation and therefore I was wrong. Simple. Some people can't do it. Not in this day and era.
Okay. Let's talk about Plies.
Plies? The homie Plies?
Yeah, we're gonna move over to my L's here.
L's? Why you get an L?
Oh, you haven't seen Plies' little rant about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Democrats? Somebody got to teach these motherfuckers how to brag. Somebody tell Joe Biden how to brag. Student loan forgiveness. I teach you how to brag. The stock market doing way better underneath you than that motherfucker. Doing way better than you than it was under him. Unemployment way better than it was under him. These people making more money at the bottom than at the top. You don't know how to brag? You don't know how to brag? That might be it. Play it. Let's see. Is that the one you talking about, Joe Biden and all that?
I was going back and forth last night. Well, one of the cats I knew. I ain't know the other one. He was just a homeboy of the dude that I knew. But it was, it was good fun. It wasn't nothing serious. But they would say, oh, man, I see a little political takes online, man. But when 45 was in office, boy, everybody was eating. Everybody had money, man. Come on, man. I say, bro, listen. Let's cut this foolishness out by everybody had money and everybody was eating. I say, bro, it was a crisis going on, bro. It was COVID. It was PPP loan money, bro. I said, man, don't you know millions of people had to die? People, mamas died, and daddies died, and sisters died, and brothers died, and uncles died, and aunties died, and granddaddies died, and grandparents died. Kids died. Bro, people lost a lot of loved ones. People lost their businesses. People lost everything. Just for some PPP loan to be allocated to different places. And the majority of it was stole by people that it wasn't even intended for. I ain't just talking about no black scammers, it's white scammers. I'm talking about scammers in general. So what you're telling me is you're cool with millions of more people dying and losing everything just so you to be able to steal some more fucking money? Bro, I'd rather hustle for mine. That's just me. And I understand that some people in this world is cool with their mamas, daddies, and kids dying.
But is all of that why we should vote for Joe Biden?
I'm just not
because of COVID?
So
Why
stop
should
this
I vote for
notion
Joe Biden?
that
COVID.
45 just woke up one morning and just knocked on the door
Long.
and just blessed everybody. That's not what it was.
This
The
ain't the one
majority-
anyway. This is not the one. It
Hey,
was when he
fam.
was more in defense of the Democratic Party, and it was just like it was like he read the pamphlet and then made the video.
Fam,
It was like he got off the phone with somebody from the DNC. They was like, these the points we want you to hit: black unemployment, student loan forgiveness, inflation, and stock market. You hit all those points in your rent, we're gonna be all right. We got 20,000 in your account, Flies. Can you do it for us? Now, mind you, there was a report out that they were putting out millions of dollars. This was 2 weeks ago. Millions of dollars to black content creators to try to help push Biden's candidacy. This was 2 weeks ago they made this report. Lord, now we got Plies getting back into his politics bag. Like, listen, man. Anybody, y'all can all vote for who you want to. Democrat, Republican, Tea Party, Libertarian. Don't matter. Vote for who you want to. But when you take in dollars to speak for some shit, right? And then you only half stepping as you're talking about it, I don't want to hear that. I don't want you to even come around me talking about it. I don't even want to hear nothing about. So your best swing at supporting Joe Biden is to tell us that inflation is up and that the stock market is doing great. Gas prices coming down.
yeah.
You wanna know why gas prices is coming down, Plies? Since they didn't give you that part of the spiel in your talking points. The reason why gas prices are coming down is because the USA tapped into their reserves. So if any type of national calamity happens, similar to what happened when it was like 9/11, remember when everybody was going to get gas because they felt like we were under attack or some shit, or some sort of national weather crisis or anything like that, we're screwed. Because we tapping into the emergency gas, the break in case of emergency gas. But yes, enjoy $2.80 a gallon. Enjoy it.
People thinking that the president presses a button and all of a sudden gas prices come down is
It makes
nuts.
the prices go down. Like, I swear to God, man. Woo! When he's saying he didn't have to pay as much of his taxes this year because we paid it all. That's why he happy with Joe Biden. Joe Beasy about to cut him these 20 bands in his bank account after he posted his Instagram video. That's why he fuck with Joe Beasy. Why he talking about PPP loans. Who gives a shit? I don't care. If you actually got one of the PPP loans and you didn't go to jail, good on you. I don't care. Now, that's not a reason to go vote for Trump. That's
It's not.
retarded mess. That's stupid. But I don't give a shit. I don't care about that. Where's the police reform bill that we were supposed to get?
Forgotten.
We got an Asian hate crime bill. We got legal protections versus discrimination in the workplace for homosexuals or people of the LGBTQ community.
That we did.
Where was our payment? Where was our get back for getting you elected? My man just went out here and won South Carolina. Just won it again. Boy, it must be fucking something to live in South Carolina and be black. And listen to Jim Clyburn and just vote for Joe Biden every 4 fucking years. Life must be fucking great in South Carolina. Y'all must be getting it done down south. Best place for a black man to live. Fucking South Carolina. Even though it goes Republican every election, year after year after year after year. Every presidential election, South Carolina goes red. But man, it must be something to be able to sit back and just listen to good old Jim Clyburn if you live in South Carolina.
Hey, I don't know if you missed it, but when you voted for Biden, he did something for black people. You got an extra stamp on your black card. You're black if you vote for Joe Biden.
Oh, I'm black because I voted for Biden.
So yeah, you
I
got
didn't
something
vote
for it.
Biden. I voted for Howie Green, whoever the Green Party candidate was.
Oh, so
what I
you
voted.
didn't get a stamp on your black card.
That man said ain't no fucking way he was gonna get my vote. Ain't no way.
Also,
There's no way in hell either one of them was gonna get my vote.
Also, Kirk Franklin having a high-pitched voice and becoming Plies is nuts. And also, and hiding his hairline. That's what he does. He makes his voice higher and hides his hairline and he becomes Plies. Anyway, also, I got to give an L also to the Breakfast Club for having Nikki Haley on the Breakfast Club, and they're going to have Kamala. So apparently I was wrong because I thought they were going to stop that bullshit, but they're not. So I got to give it.
Well, I expect the Kamala one to be a very interesting one, because as far as paid celebrities, fawning over Democrats goes, Charlamagne has been one for a while. But it seems like he's a little bit disaffected because he, for some reason, kept expecting for people to do something for him in turn. He expected those favors to be, repaid in kind, and I don't think they ever have, and now he seems disaffected. So I think that interview with Kamala is going to be a must-see. Y'all thought Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp was going to be a must-see. That 15 to 20 minutes that Charlamagne gets with the Vice President of the United States will be must-see television, for sure. The last time that they spoke was that shit where he had his show, when his show was still on cable, and he pressed her then, during the midterm, around the time of the midterms.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we'll see.
Hey, buckle up.
We'll see.
Buckle up.
And to answer Chillmonger's questions about what's wrong with interviewing politicians, absolutely nothing. In fact, it's probably a good thing. It's who is interviewing the politicians.
Yeah, that's what it is. If you're going to interview politicians, you should be well-versed in what it is you're asking of the candidates. You should be well-versed in their histories, what their platforms are, and be able to press back on any type of shifty nature. Journalist's job is to hold power responsible. Right? It is never your responsibility to go in there and give a puff interview. So if you don't have the political acumen to control the interview and demand answers from the politician, I don't want you doing it. There's enough of those type of journalists within the political apparatus as it is. So when they finally break out of that box and they have to talk to a normal person, I don't want to hear you kissing ass like MSNBC.
Because it's dangerous and irresponsible. Especially when you hold the black culture as that's your thing. You're the voice for the black culture.
And you know what? Nikki Haley might have been the Republican nominee. I forgot who said that in the chat. Who was that?
William Moloch.
Moloch. Yeah. She might have been the Republican nominee, except she's stupid. She's dumb. What was the cause of the Civil War? I don't know. What do you want me to say is the cause of the Civil War? God damn, lady. What was the cause of the Civil War? I'm not sure what you want me to say. I'm embarrassed that you didn't say slavery. Well, obviously slavery. No, dummy. No. So she proved herself. I know. We'll see how long the money sticks behind her. But she had it. She had it. She had the donors. She had the super PACs. And that type of stuff matters, especially when you think about the longer this election goes, the more convictions Trump will have on his record. You know what I mean? Like, if my man's is in jail, he can't accept the presidency.
Facts.
So.
Facts.
All right. We're moving on from Plies on to Courtney Lenny's parents. If the name Courtney Lenny is not ringing any bells in your cerebellum there.
Is that the one that killed the African boyfriend?
Yes. She's got some new charges hitting her, along with her parents. They are being accused of withholding and moving his laptop from her apartment right after it happened. So there was already some funky shit going on with the aftermath of the killing. She said it happened in self-defense, but then she waited 14 minutes, called her mom, and did a whole bunch of other shit before she called the police, right? So no life-saving measures, nothing, right? She got caught hitting him in the elevator on the way up anyways. She was already in shit, in hot shit. Now they are saying that her parents took the laptop and tried to access it, and then later ended up giving it up to the police.
Damn.
So they was just gonna clean this shit up. They was gonna try. If they couldn't clean it up, then they would have, they were gonna go to self-defense route. They was gonna try to clean it up initially. That's what I'm taking from all that. But yes, her parents have been charged, and now she has another felony charge that she has to fight in court here. So, damn, Courtney.
Well, that's what her stupid white privilege head ass gets. Her parents think they can just wipe a murder away. That's some.
Yeah, we just gonna clean it up. Bring his cell phone and his laptop.
That is some white people
What
shit.
about the security footage in the elevator on my way up? Fuck.
never had to clean up a murder scene ever in your life, and all of a sudden you think you can just do it. Okay.
Man,
Niggas turn into ghosts out of nowhere.
So her mom gonna be in the same prison with her daughter. That's gonna be a first. And probably not a first.
No, probably not. Yeah.
Anyways, Vince.
Ooh.
Vince. Yeah, boy. Murky water. Hey, trigger warning, if you have children around or if you are just generally squeamish, but don't break out because I want you to watch. Maybe just turn the volume down for a little bit while we have this conversation. So, I shout out to Bruce Rivers. He's a criminal lawyer, and he reacts to all the self-snitching. But I was watching him break down the court filings for the lawsuit that's going against Vince McMahon. Something or another Laurinaitis. I don't know his first name, but he's a Laurinaitis. I just wanted to put that out there so that everybody knows that James Laurinaitis' brother is a diddler. And
I think it's his dad.
Close with the head diddler.
It's not his dad?
No, it's his brother.
It's his brother.
His dad was part of the Road Warriors.
Yeah,
but his
I thought that was.
I
couldn't remember.
At WWE. No.
Well, that's not James Laurinaitis. Let's point out.
Well, we don't know what happened, right? He's a rich man. Maybe he shares with his brother. We don't know.
James is too busy on the recruiting trail for linebackers.
Nah, I know. I share with my brother. I would share with you.
James Laurinaitis knows nothing about this because he is a proud Ohio State man.
Now, don't put that on him. Now, let's not talk about what he knows.
He don't know shit.
Anyway, yes, folks. James Laurinaitis, former linebacker and Buckeye great,
has nothing to do with this.
with Vince McMahon, but fam, it gets so much worse than having sexy time with James Laurinaitis' brother. It gets so much worse than that. James Laurinaitis' brother.
Stop calling him that.
But man, okay, yes, there was accusations of rape. There were also, it was kind of similar to what Cassie was accusing Diddy of, only I was getting some strong cuck energy from what Vince McMahon was into. So like they had readouts of his text messages and what he was saying to this girl. Hold on, yeah.
Crazy.
It is absolutely nuts. You got the computer up. You see if you can find it. It was just like, yeah, I want you to have 3 BBCs, and then you can maybe take like 15 minutes off and get like 3 more, and then maybe we can invite some more people. You'll be a little bit roughed up, but you'll want more and more and more. And you'll have so much of their seed inside of you. It was getting very, very graphic. One of the oh yeah, here we go. Go ahead, put your Vince McMahon voice on.
I'm not putting my voice on. You just did it.
Zoom it in so I can read it.
It's an image. It's
try to be Vince.
Let's see.
It's probably not going. I'm not.
Yeah, it won't let me.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Anyways, the worst of the situations that I heard, that she was described by her, she was in a room with his personal trainer. It was Vince McMahon, his personal trainer, and her. Right? He makes her sit down and lay on her back, and takes a steaming pile on her head. Like a log on her head, and then makes her sit there with it in her hair until he finishes choking his chicken in front of his physical therapist.
Nuts. Oh, here's one. I think can you see that?
Okay. Yeah. Here we go.
All right, hold on.
Here we go. Your last picture. You need your panties ripped off, Jesus Christ, and 3 big black dinglings. I'll try to keep it PG. Pin on 3 holes at the same time. Way up your meow.
Look at how he spells it. That's a weird way to spell it. It's French.
way up your brown eye, far as they will go, but even farther, and the thickest rooster goes down your throat. So it makes you gag and convulse. Like, here's the problem that I have. Like, as you type in this, do you actually believe that the person receiving this text message likes all of this shit? Have you ever met a fucking a nymphomaniac wouldn't take this text? They would be offended. They'd be like, "Hey, listen, buddy, I know I have a sex addiction, but you gotta treat me like a human, at least a little bit." Like this feels like he's paying for phone sex, like one of those texting apps where you can just talk to the women all day or whatever. That's what it feels like he's doing. Only he found this woman on the street and convinced her she was going to have a job at WWE behind all this. So
that just reminds me of a FD Signifier video that I watched about like just white men being like really into cucking themselves with black men.
Damn, I don't know what it is. Let's be honest. You know, you've all seen the damn porn category, but I think it's more than just like porn sites. I think there really is a thing with certain white men that they just like to see their women with other black dudes. And I really need somebody to understand, like, explain the psychology behind that for me. Like, what behind cuckery? What is cuckery? Let's take a deep dive into cuckery. What is the mentality, Josh? Explain.
You're asking the wrong person because I am not a
No,
cook.
provide me some insight, please. I want to be educated.
So from the outside looking in, as Chillmonger hates me to say, I would assume that, I don't know, they just have some kind of kink for shaming themselves, and they're just weirdly obsessed with black men because obviously black men are kings and should be looked at as such. So they have a inferiority complex. That's the best I can do.
Do you feel inferior or superior when you're watching?
Are you talking about me? Or when they are?
Ain't nobody else here, Josh.
I don't know what you're referring to. I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cuckery.
What is happening? What are you saying? What are you doing to me right now? Pause. You are making me out to be a cuck, and I am not a cuck.
I'm trying to get a recollection from an experience.
From the outside looking in, it seems as if they have an obsession, an unhealthy obsession with not even demasculating men. That's the weird thing. It's not demasculating them.
No, you are the one being demasculated.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't get it. But I am an alpha male, so I wouldn't know.
But how can you be a cuck and an alpha male?
I'm not a cuck. Where are you?
Can you be an alpha cuck?
If I am
like you are the cuck that controls all of the other cucks.
I am a cuck in the sense that you're 41 years old. How about that?
I don't know how that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense. I call you 41 and you try to say that I'm a cuck.
In the way that I'm 41, but I'm not actually 41.
And I am not a cuck. So there you go.
But you, never mind.
This entire thing is getting cut out from the W's and L section. Since you want to play games.
But no, this is a dirty boy. Apparently, he even used the poor girl as bait to try to get Brock Lesnar to come back. He would pee on her and then send videos to Brock Lesnar like, look, she'll do anything you want. She'll do anything you want. So right now, we're going to play a little game of Guess That Buyout. Amber Heard lied about rape, $15 million. Donald Trump raped and then defamed, $83 million. What do you get for doo-doo in the hair?
Okay, so $15 million for Amber Heard.
For lying.
$83 million for, what was the other one?
$83 million for Trump. He raped a woman, lost that civil lawsuit, and then defamed her after it, and then, obviously got sued for that too.
Oh,
so that was $83 million for defaming her around the sexual assault. What do you get for sex trafficking in a civil suit where doo-doo was involved?
From a billionaire. Vince is a billionaire.
Pretty close if he ain't already got it.
$65 million.
No, hell no. He's getting more than Trump.
More than Trump? It is more than Trump? Okay. Because I didn't know if the extra things that Trump did
Trump never,
added.
he didn't pimper out the other people. He didn't traffic her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it over 9 digits?
I
Is it over 100 million?
think so. I think she might fuck around, own a piece. She might own a piece of WWE when all this shit is
Damn.
over.
That'd be crazy.
Jeff Bezos lost half of Amazon in a divorce.
In a divorce, yeah, no, that's...
In a divorce, man. So he didn't doo-doo on anybody.
Facts. He just
Amber
upgraded.
Heard doo-dooed on the bed. Vince doo-dooed on the head. Jeff Bezos ain't doo-doo on nobody and still lost $1 trillion.
Jeff Bezos did his duty as a billionaire and upgraded and still had to lose part of the company. I'm just saying.
I feel like we probably shouldn't be this laughable about this situation.
No, we
really
shouldn't. You're absolutely right.
It's very sick. But I just, some white guys have very, very odd proclivities that when they come out, I can't unsee it. Like, I can't unsee Vince McMahon working his pecker for another dude after he just doo-dooed on a woman. Like, it's just crazy. Or, in his mind, somehow you and your old decrepit ass peeing on a woman is going to entice Brock Lesnar to wrestle again. And I want to know whether or not it did. I want to know the exact minute he sent him that fucking photo and then whether or not Brock Lesnar returned to the ring. I want to know.
I got a question.
This shit is sick. How could you, James Laurinaitis' brother?
Stop it. Anyway, as a rich white man, how are you oppressing me, afraid of me, and also sexually obsessed with me? That's nuts. That's crazy.
Maybe one of those things has to do with the other too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the same type of relationship that exists between a grade school crush and maybe pulling your hair and running away. Well, I have an affinity for black male appendages, so I seek to have them locked up and imprisoned for my use at any time.
I don't know that line of thinking, so maybe that's possible.
If you want more information, you should read the ISIS papers by Dr. Francis Cress Reslin. Anyways, so yeah, that's Dirty Vince there. My last L is going out to state of it, or the country, Israel. Another episode on this week of genocide and no basic human decency. So a week after they lost the case at the International Criminal Court, it was reported, I think by CNN, that they led an operation into one of the only still operational hospitals in Gaza, dressed as women, children, and nurses to execute believed Hamas members.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. All right, open fire in the middle of the hospital, one of the only operational hospitals left in Gaza, dressed up like women and nurses to get inside the building so that they can execute.
Damn shame.
No official word on whether or not they've proven those guys were Hamas, so it doesn't matter, right? Just move on. We'll just move on. So, another human atrocity to throw into the pile. Never forget. Last thing. I guess we can talk about the SEC and the Big Ten getting ready to wrangle in college football. Before we start that, though, I did want to say I told y'all so. So, Florida with Jaden Rashada, Tennessee with Nico Mayava. Who else is getting investigated right now? I believe Florida State was getting their investigations, or they self-imposed some penalties. Colorado earlier this offseason self-imposed some recruiting violations. I wonder why. Because the long dick of the law is coming. And all of y'all are not going to sit up here and be like, no, you can't do nothing. Like, you can talk all this, the NCAA can't do shit if you want to. But when it's time for your university president, your athletic director, and the board of regents who decide all of these things to coalesce and decide whether or not they're going to fight it or just pay their fine and move on, that's when shit is really decided. So now, I'm just interested as to why we're not having all of it. Hell, even Iowa self-imposed some violations because they know that they're about to get
with
called to
Caden
the
Proctor.
table for the
Yeah.
same shit. They know. I think that this pairing between the SEC and the Big Ten is a preemptive move to try and curtail some of these death sentences that they're going to be handing out. They're not going to take on this many active cases for roughly the same kind of thing at once without a plan. And if they have a plan, you better bet your ass that somebody, whether it's the players, whether it's the conferences, whatever, somebody better get together and try to coalesce. Because this is going to be the last civil war of the NCAA. They are going to try and push and make hard violations on all of these teams that are up right now. Tennessee, Florida, Colorado, Iowa, whoever. Whoever had a recruiting violation, whoever used NIL as a recruiting inducement is going to get called to the table. I wouldn't expect them to go any less hard on Michigan about their recruiting violations. But it's not of the same nature right now. That's not what they're trying to fix. They're trying to fix NIL. So, with that being the case, the two biggest conferences that are kind of leading college football right now have no choice but to meet them in the field on this, because if they don't, they'll railroad all of college football and set a new precedence for the next 10 to 15 years. They have to meet them head on right now, even if it means litigation from the conferences themselves, to make sure that this is the last breath of the NCAA.
Do you feel like, so you feel like this is a ploy for the NCAA to feign any kind of strength that they have?
Yeah, so whatever they are accusing Florida and Billy Napier, or Miami and Mario Cristobal, or Josh Heupel in Tennessee, whatever they are accusing them of, they have known about it for the last 3 years. I think they have allowed it, what I predicted they would do in the beginning of all this when NIL first became a thing. They are going to let this bubble get as big as it possibly can so that they have the most evidence to go forth and try to come down with the hammer, right? They will have all the leeway in the world when they finally do come down on one of these programs for NIL, because we've had 3-4 years of the entire college football world being totally turned on its head because of NIL. So they'll have and a whole while we're sitting up here talking like, what is the NCAA going to do? What is the NCAA going to do? What is the NCAA going to do? Well, they're getting ready to give you their last hurrah, because if they can't come out of this now, if they can't come out with wins in some of these situations, now that they've laid down the gauntlet, they've told you what it is they're going to start policing on. If they can't get a dub now, they'll never get one. And they'll go quietly into the night. And if you're the Big Ten and the SEC, you're placing yourself squarely on the other side of that. And you're saying, look, we're not going to acquiesce to you anymore. We're going to make sure that you lose these court cases. And then when you do, you'll be delegitimized, and we won't have to listen to you anymore. Once somebody sues and they lose in federal court over administering NIL, it's over. Because that's what happened with NIL in the first place. It's done. Dunsky.
Any other dubs, L's, anything like that for you?
Man, that's it. I appreciate everybody for coming and listening to us ramble here for the night.
Well, listening to you ramble, because I got to continue. I got to continue rambling because behind the cape.
Oh, yeah.
That I haven't.
Well, listening to me ramble.